It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. And suddenly, there it is. That thing you said in 2009. Not a nightmare. Not a noise. Just you, replaying a hallway conversation from middle school. And here's the ridiculous reason why your brain saves receipts nobody asked for. You didn't think about this today. You didn't think about it yesterday. You went an entire week without so much as a flicker of it. Then the lights go off, the phone goes face down, and your brain reaches into a drawer you swore was locked. It pulls out the exact tone of voice you used, the exact face the other person made. A conversation from over a decade ago, delivered in full HD with surround sound. Why now? Why not at 2 p.m. when you're distracted and busy and could just shrug it off between emails? Because your brain doesn't consider busy a good time for a system update. It waits for silence. It waits for stillness. It waits for the exact moment you have nothing to defend yourself with, and then it opens the file. There's a name for part of this. In 1927, a psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik noticed that waiters in a Vienna cafe could remember complex, unpaid orders in perfect detail, right up until the bill was settled. The second the order was closed, the memory vanished. She called it the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished business stays loud. Finished business goes quiet. Your brain, it turns out, treats your most embarrassing moments as permanently unfinished business. You never got to fix it. You never got to go back and say the smoother thing, the cooler thing, the thing that doesn't replay in your skull at 2 a.m. So the file stays open. Forever open. A tab you can't close, sitting in the background, waiting for a quiet enough moment to pop back up. And silence is exactly what it's been waiting for. During the day, your brain is busy. It's dodging traffic, replying to messages, deciding what to have for lunch, remembering a password, forgetting a password. There's no room on the desktop for a decade-old cringe file. But at night, the tab's close. The app's quit. And what's left running in the background finally gets the spotlight it's been begging for the entire day. Psychologist Susan Nolen-Hoeksema spent years studying exactly this kind of late-night mental replay, a habit she called rumination. Her research found that when the brain has nothing urgent to focus on, it doesn't rest. It goes looking for something to chew on, and it has a strong, almost magnetic preference for chewing on the worst thing available. Not the time you did something great. Not the compliment someone gave you in passing. No, it wants the wince. It wants the cringe. It wants the moment you accidentally called your teacher mom. Why would evolution build a brain that does this to you at bedtime, of all times? Because, cruelly, it thinks it's helping. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your sleep out of spite. It's running a rehearsal. A very badly timed, extremely unnecessary rehearsal. Somewhere deep in its wiring is the ancient assumption that social mistakes were once dangerous, that being laughed at by the group could mean being left out of the group, and being left out of the group, a very long time ago, could get you eaten by something with teeth. So your brain treats every awkward memory like a live threat that needs constant review. Never mind that the threat is a stranger from a bus stop in 2016 who has definitely never thought about you again. The result is a nightly rerun nobody asked for, playing on a channel you can't turn off, hosted by the one part of your brain that refuses to accept the show got canceled years ago. And it doesn't just replay the memory. It elaborates. It adds commentary. It zooms in on details you didn't even notice at the time. The way your voice cracked, the exact half-second of silence before someone responded, the stranger in the background who may or may not have been smirking. Your brain isn't just remembering the moment. It's remastering it. Extended cut. Director's commentary. Nobody requested any of this. Here's the part that should make you feel better, and somehow doesn't. Almost nobody else remembers it. Studies on what researchers call the spotlight effect show that people wildly overestimate how much others notice or remember their mistakes, because everyone is far too busy starring in their own late-night rerun to think about yours. The hallway conversation from 2009 that your brain treats as a historical event is, to literally everyone else who was there, a Tuesday they forgot by Wednesday. But try telling that to your brain at 2 a.m. It doesn't want facts. It wants to relive the moment one more time, in case this viewing is the one where you finally figure out how to have said it differently. You won't. You never do. The scene ends exactly the same way it always does, every single time you rewatch it, because it's a memory, not a rewrite room. And yet your brain keeps pulling up the same file, pressing play, and hoping for a different ending, like checking the fridge for food that wasn't there 5 minutes ago. The truly unfair part is that this only happens with your best material. Your brain doesn't do late-night reruns of the times things went fine. Nobody lies awake proudly recalling the time they successfully ordered a coffee. The whole system is calibrated for maximum discomfort and minimum usefulness, running entirely on autopilot. For an audience of exactly one very tired person who did not buy a ticket to this show. And it never just plays one file. It's a marathon. One cringe memory opens the door, and suddenly the whole cabinet is out. The thing you said in 2009. The email you sent to the wrong person in 2015. A comment about someone's haircut that definitely landed wrong 3 jobs ago. Your brain doesn't do a highlight reel. It does the entire back catalog, in no particular order, with zero warning between clips. This is where the modern version of the problem gets worse, not better. You'd think, centuries after the original threat of being exiled from the tribe stopped being a daily concern, that this alarm system would have quietly retired. Instead, it got a phone. Now it has new material delivered directly to it every single day. A message left on read, a joke that got a slower laugh than expected, a typo sent to an entire group chat. Your ancient cringe detection software never got the update that most modern social stakes are extremely low. It just got a much bigger inbox. So at 2 a.m., it isn't only reviewing the archives. It's cross-referencing them. Tonight's slightly awkward pause during a video call gets filed right next to that hallway conversation from over a decade ago, as if they're the same category of emergency. Your brain treats a mildly quiet Zoom call with the exact same seriousness it treats being laughed out of a prehistoric campfire circle. It genuinely cannot tell the difference, and it is not going to apologize for that. There is, at least, a reason all of this eventually settles down enough to let you sleep. Rumination like this tends to burn itself out, not because you resolve it, but because you simply run out of angles. Your brain replays the scene enough times that even it gets bored of the ending, the same way rewatching a movie for the 40th time stops delivering new information. Eventually your eyes get heavy, the file gets shelved again, unresolved as ever, and the whole system goes quiet, until the next time it decides you've earned another rerun. So the next time it happens, the second the lights go off and that one specific memory shows up uninvited, in full detail, escorted by a small chorus of imaginary onlookers who are somehow still judging you 11 years later, you can relax slightly, knowing it isn't a personal failing. It's an ancient, overprotective alarm system, one unfinished tab, and one very committed researcher's century-old observation about waiters and unpaid bills, all conspiring against your bedtime. It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling, and somewhere behind your eyes, an unpaid bill from 2009 has just been served, right on schedule, exactly like it is every single night it decides you've finally gone quiet enough to listen.